Hey everyone, welcome back. So you want to make your GitHub Actions run faster and test across multiple environments? In this video, we are diving into matrix builds and parallel jobs, a powerful combo to speed up your CI/CD process. So why matrix builds? If your library or your app supports multiple platforms or versions, matrix builds ensures you don't ship bugs that only show up in one environment. So what matrix build does is it runs the same job multiple times with multiple inputs. For example, if you want to test your code on various OSes, you can do that. And you can create a matrix with like different node versions as well. For example, here I will be choosing Ubuntu, Mac OS and Windows as my three OSs, and I will be choosing node version 14, 16 and 18 as three node versions. So it will be running this matrix in parallel. Matrix build runs the same job with multiple inputs multiple times. So for example, you want to test your application across various OSs and various node versions all in parallel. So you will be able to do that. So what does this mean? So this means we will be having more coverage in less time, as we will be running across various node versions as well as various OSs. So if a bug that only occurs, for example, in node version 14 on Mac OS, then we will be able to catch that. So this is the syntax that we will be using. So here, as you can see, we will be having our strategy, matrix, our three OSs and our node versions. So in this case, we will be having total 9 jobs, 3 OSs multiplied by 3 Node.js versions. So we will be running like Ubuntu latest with node version 14, 16 and 18. So 3 these, and similarly 3 jobs for Windows and similarly 3 jobs for Mac OS as well. Also, we can like exclude any of these. So for example, Windows latest with node version 14, we do not support that, hence we do not need to test against that environment. So we can exclude that using this syntax. So why it is super fast? This is super fast because every job will be running on its own machine. So there will be full isolation between the environments and it runs concurrently, saving a lot of time. And depending on your test case scenario, this might be the most optimized way of testing. So let's quickly try and implement all this. So what I will do is I will create a new file and I'll name it as run test matrix.yaml. And here I'll use my same run test logic. Okay, so now here let's try to implement what all we learned. Okay, so first of all, as per our syntax, I'll add here strategy matrix, and we have 3 OSs, Ubuntu latest, Windows latest and Mac OS latest. Also, we will be running this on node version 18, 19 and 20. And also I'll name the job as OS, and here I will be using like this OS version that will be dynamic. I'll be using dollar and these 2 parentheses, and here matrix.os and node version, and similarly dollar parenthesis and matrix.node. Also, we will need to change a few more things. Firstly, we need this runs on to be like different OS every time. So what I will do here is I will copy this and paste the same thing here. And similarly for our node version, currently I have hard coded it as 20. So I will remove that and I'll add matrix.node. So now what it should do is it should run this whole matrix with like different OS versions over here and different node versions over here. So I'll commit this and I'll push this. Now let's see how it looks on our GitHub dashboard. So I'll create a PR quickly. I'll name it as matrix builds. I'll keep the description as empty, as this is just a tutorial, and I'll click on create pull request. And hopefully we should see a matrix of jobs running. Okay, so as you can see here, we have like multiple jobs that ran. So firstly, Mac OS latest with node version 18, Mac OS latest with 19, 20, Similarly for Ubuntu and similarly for Windows as well. So now if I click on the very first one, so here I will be able to see the Node version that was used to execute the test, and all the tests are working. Now let's say if we want to exclude one of these, so we want to exclude Windows latest with Node version 18 for whatever reason. So what we can do here is, after this we can add exclude -os, and I'll enter the OS as Windows latest and also Node version 18. And let's say we want to exclude one more. So for example, we want to exclude Ubuntu latest on Node version 19. So let's save this and commit this again, and let's go to our dashboard and let's check out the PR. So as you can see here, it has ran on all the Mac OSes one and only on Ubuntu latest Node version 18 and Ubuntu latest on Node version 20. And it is also running the Windows one on Node version 19 and 20. It has skipped the Node version 18 one. Okay, so when you should be using these matrix builds? So you should be using these when testing libraries or packages, when you want to test cross-platform software or multi-runtime tools. So the smart ways to use matrix builds could be to limit the size to stay under GitHub limitations, use caching for faster results. If you don't know how to do that, I'll add the tutorial in the description. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And in the next video, we will learn how to use reusable workflows. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.